everybody. You. Hey, Eric.
What up?
You beautiful man.
Hi, beautiful.
Hey. You know what a sweet talking man.
Hi, Douglas.
Hey. We're here for a big one, boys. Wrestling
Yes.
Through the Years podcast, episode 3 on YouTube. I don't know what number throughout, the years here that we've been doing this. But now that we're on YouTube,
17.
Okay. But Wrestling Through the Years, episode 17, episode 3 that's on YouTube. Welcome. We have a special episode tonight. You ready for it, Doug? You excited?
Yeah. I think 717 is what he said.
Oh, okay. I was about to say 17 felt a little light for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Or 3 years. How long have we been doing it? 17 did feel a little light. We're here for a big one. We're doing our top 10 Intercontinental champions of all time. Like our top 10 favorite Intercontinental champions. Me, Doug, and Eric each have a list. We're going to get into that very soon. We're going to do some worker of the week. Of course, Money E, Big Eric. He's here. The Big Dutch Meister, Big Dutchy. And me, Dizzle. And we all make up the Wrestling Through the Years, and we're here to do our top 10.
Yep. And we got some big things coming up. Working on a big one in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a countdown, but it's a fan vote countdown. We're gonna count down the top 50 greatest WWE wrestlers of all time.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following that. The polls have been running. The polls have been smoking. Because some guys are doing better than others, and it is a little shocking. So you're going to want to tune into that in a couple weeks here. Or when is that, next week?
It depends on, because I know Eric wanted to do something. It depends on if he's doing a show next week. If he's doing a show next week, we got to do his idea.
It depends if I'm going to Harrisburg.
Okay.
Or they're coming here.
All right.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah. And then, so probably within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
All right. Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Let's do our Worker of the Week first, gentlemen. Worker of the Week, first segment at the beginning of the show, where we talk about the best wrestlers, the best workers. And also, it could be a manager too, as long as somebody's the fucking tits that week. The tits bananas. They're the best thing on the card, in your opinion. I'll go first, and I'm going to hit you with a very obvious one in Braun Breaker.
Yeah, it's funny because of the way the Intercontinental title match at SummerSlam, which was only 5 minutes, but it was meant to really put over Breaker. But him and Sammy had a much better match Monday night, 2 out of 3 falls. So it really showed what both guys can do. And he has just been on a tear since getting on the main roster.
Yeah. He has. And he fucking beat Sammy's ass. The 2 out of 3. I personally think the 2 out of the 3 falls match was the best match of the 3. And I think Braun fucking took it to him. Sammy's a great dance partner. He was a great babyface to put this guy over. But now that he's over, I feel like he's over like Rover, and he's killing it. And he's skyrocketed. That entrance was cool, the way he came out talking to the camera and had that big fight feel to it. And yeah, Braun Breaker's my Worker of the Week. I thought he was the man.
Yeah. Mine would probably have to go to my boy Priest again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Him and Rhea Ripley are doing fantastic work in this whole thing with the Judgment Day.
He just walked behind somebody.
Yeah. Well, no, he beat Carlito.
Yeah, he did beat Carlito.
And it's going to be Rhea and Damian versus Dominic and Liv at Bash in Berlin.
The only thing about this feud, and I love it, it is the A program on Raw, and I think it's awesome. But
That's mine.
Huh? What's up? I heard you, brother.
Eric,
Ready for mine?
No, he's still in the middle of saying his. You interrupted him.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
I couldn't hear.
But Rhea Ripley, get in the frame, Doug. The boys are fucking up. Rhea Ripley and Priest could beat the holy living shit out of Liv and Dominic. And to me, it's hard to make that convincing.
I mean, when you have like, I mean, yes, the 5-on-2s have failed the last couple of weeks, but I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got McDonough out there causing havoc, and Carlito
Yeah.
can throw an apple at him or something.
yeah, and then Balor could take Priest down too. I see Balor getting involved somehow.
Yeah. All right, Eric. Now we'll do your worker of the week.
You impatient prick.
I'm going to go with. I was stuck between two people, but I'm going to go with
one in the front
Swerve.
and one in the back.
I was stuck between Swerve and ironically Adam Page. But Swerve, I like the ending of that segment, ending of Dynamite on Wednesday. I think that's going to be a really good match.
Whenever Doug gets an attitude, I'm putting that up.
I think Brian's winning, but who knows at this point?
I mean, it would make sense. I don't see him going on a long title run though, especially with the fact that he's the doctors keep telling him he needs neck surgery.
Who?
Danielson.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'll hold it until either All Out or
You really think he's going to beat Swerve?
Just the looking.
the way that it ended on Wednesday has me thinking Ryan's going to win.
He might. It's this weekend, right?
No, it's next
Not
week.
next weekend.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be insane if Swerve lost.
It
I would be very sad because you know how I feel about Brian, so.
Yeah. I mean,
One last one. I mean, he's going to vacate anyway, right?
it would be very short.
I think it would last until maybe All Out in
I thought he said it
Chicago.
was his last performance, or did he say he's going on a run with the belt if he wins it?
Well, his contract is already over. He's now being paid on a per appearance deal because his wrestling contract is done.
It's over. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not.
So they say.
Yeah, it could all be bullshit.
Yeah.
A big bag of bullshit.
Yep.
Which is also his sister-in-law's stripper name.
Big bag of bullshit.
Yeah,
That's a crazy name. All right.
that's why she only gets tips and dimes.
Well,
I will say Adam Page has been killing it too, so.
Adam Page is always killing it.
Adam Page has been actually trying to kill people. That's the thing.
Yes.
Whatever gets the job done.
He's been better since he got back.
All right. Top 10 Intercontinental champions of all time. We all gave our worker of the week, right?
Yeah.
This is the top 10 Intercontinental champions of all time. What are you doing? Quit breaking shit. I'm looking for. Give me the charger. All right. Breaking shit. Doug, you can go first.
Oh.
Who's your number 10 Intercontinental champion of all time?
Oh. Mr. Perfect.
That's a good pick.
So he first won the title he won it in April of 1990, but it didn't get shown until May. Tito Santana in a tournament final. Held it for until SummerSlam that year, lost it to Kerry Von Erich, but then won it again in November of that year, but it didn't get shown until December. And then held it to SummerSlam the following year when he beat Bret Hart when Bret Hart beat him. So he had some decent matches and some decent feuds for the title. And the match against Bret where Bret beat him is considered one of the greatest SummerSlam matches of all time. And Hennig did that, by the way, with a broken back.
I thought for sure that he was going to be way higher on your list.
Only because there's like more of my favorites that
Okay.
held the belt. He was a good heel champion.
Yeah.
as the Intercontinental Champion, and like he would have matches. Like there was a match he worked a title match with Jake Roberts. I forgot what month it was in 1990, but it was in 1990, and it was part of one of the Coliseum home video releases. Match went like 18 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was like Jake hit the DDT on Perfect after Perfect got himself disqualified.
Yeah.
So like he was able to work with some really top-notch guys. I mean, he main evented Madison Square Garden with Piper. Worked WrestleMania 7 with the Boss Man.
Yeah.
Again, did that with Brett. Had a feud with Davey. It had matches with like a lot of the top like mid-level baby faces.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Mr. Perfect was the fucking man.
Yeah.
I thought you'd have him way higher. Eric, who's your number 10?
My number 10, since this is favorites, I'm gonna say Sami Zayn.
Okay, that's
Recently IC champion, lost that summer.
Yeah.
But
he did.
yeah, he had a good run with the title, won at WrestleMania. So yeah, Sami Zayn is one of my favorites. So
Yeah.
I thought he had a good title reign.
I mean, yeah, he did because, and he's had obviously other title reigns in the past. I feel like that this was his
Probably
his best one though because of who he beat for the title.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he beat Gunther, who was unbeatable, who had not been pinned since being on the WWE main roster.
Exactly.
And then Sami Zayn's the first one to beat him.
Yep. It was a
And
bigger moment.
I'm almost thinking that Sammy might be the one to beat him for the world title.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Or at least they can make that into like a storyline or something like that, and possibly get it towards Royal Rumble. If not, I mean, I don't know if they'd have Sammy win the Rumble to face
Sammy
him.
does deserve a world title reign.
Yeah. At some point.
He's over enough to get one.
But he's
Yep.
he's had a lot of big accolades and big, does he need the belt? Yeah, it would be cool, but does everybody really need the belt? And of course, that's what everybody should strive for in the world title and everything.
Yeah.
But what does it really push forward? Sami Zayn winning the world title, unless you got a really good, unless you did what you just did with the Intercontinental title, then maybe it does work. Then you get an up and coming star to go over on him after, because this IC title reign was pretty legendary, and the stuff with Chad Gable in the middle was very good.
Yep.
Even throwing in Bronson Reed for a little bit was good, and then beating Braun the first time, and then losing the second time, and the obviously the trilogy match. It's all been very good shit from Sami Zayn. I thought he's been on a hell of a run because no one thought he was going to beat Gunther. So ever since that, he actually had a really good Intercontinental title run.
Yeah.
Wasn't long, but it did need to be. It was a good run.
Well, title reigns don't need to be long.
Not all of them. It can mean something, though.
Yeah.
All right, my turn. Shamrock. I got Shamrock.
You cocksucker.
Oh, I forgot about him. Shit.
I didn't.
I think he's one of the best. You don't have to change your list, Doug. We might have a couple similar ones. But I think Shamrock is one of the best Intercontinental champions. I don't think he always gets the love. He's more known for chasing it against The Rock than actually holding it. But when he held it, he actually had a pretty good run with it. So
he wins it on a episode of Raw, like right before Judgment Day. It was a one-night tournament because they were doing this thing. Triple H was out with a knee injury.
Yeah.
And they did this storyline with Vince McMahon where he was pissed off because Austin had just shoved the catheter up his ass in the hospital.
Yeah.
Which would piss off a lot of people, except for the fetish freaks. So Eric would have been okay with it. But Don't worry about it.
He's talking shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought something went wrong.
No. I just said you'd probably like a catheter shoved up your ass. Did he not hear that one? Did you hear what I just said?
No.
I said you would like a catheter shoved up your ass.
Very funny, though.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a show without some lame-ass joke.
Yeah. It also wouldn't be a show without you not paying attention to anything anybody's saying. I disagree.
I'm having fun with these.
Yeah.
Doug's pissed.
All right. Yeah, I thought Shamrock was the shitty bop. I thought he was a great Intercontinental champion. One of those that probably should have got propelled to the world title scene after, but never really happened. We'll keep this on the whole show. We'll keep that one rolling. But all right, who's your number 9, Doug?
I believe Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, Double J.
First title reign was in 1995 after beating Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental title at Royal Rumble 95. Then he would hold it. There was a couple of times like him and Razor traded it at a couple of house shows. And then he lost the match to Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
In July of 95, won the title back. Won the
Why don't you fucking hold it? There you go.
Thank you. Yeah. Then maybe Eric will actually hear what I'm saying, and I won't have to repeat the same fucking insult 3 times. Because it's barely funny the first time. Repeating it 3 times would just fucking, ruin the moment.
Yeah. And it did.
Oh, 100%.
It's growing.
That's why we have nobody watching right now. But he got the title back. He beat the Godfather for it. And then held it for, I think, like another month. But then, because this was around the time where where it was always short title reigns.
Yeah.
And, but, he had some really good matches. It's like some entertaining matches, like the SummerSlam match he did with D'Lo. And like that feud when they feuded for both titles. Had a couple of really good matches with X-Pac. Worked with Shamrock a little bit.
Big Shamrock.
The stuff he did with China, even though he really didn't want to do it and tried to hold Vince up for money.
It worked.
Yeah.
He didn't try. He succeeded.
Yeah.
He just got blackballed for like 20 years after.
Exactly. So he was a really good champion, a really good heel champion, because especially coming out and having Deborah distract everybody. And yeah. I remember he had a match. This was towards the tail end of Shotgun Saturday Night, and before they brought in WWF Jacked.
Yeah.
And they started letting the bigger stars work the Shotgun Saturday Night again. And there was like a random in the middle match. It was Jeff Jarrett versus Blue Meanie for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah. And
it's just like, all right, obviously, Jarrett's going to win. Well, there was a move in the match where it actually looked like Meanie was going to beat Jeff Jarrett. So Deborah hops on the apron. I'm like, really? You need her to help you beat the Blue Meanie? And so she goes to show the puppies. But then he's like, no, I don't want to see the puppies. And then starts lifting his shirt up.
He almost showed the doubt.
Yeah. And then Jarrett hit him with the stroke from behind. And
he stroked him from behind. There you go, Double J. Whatever you can do to win.
Yeah, exactly. Please let that be the short.
Hopefully it is.
Yeah.
We can make it one.
Yeah. Jeff Jarrett getting stroked from behind. Think that's how he prefers it with Karen?
I don't know. Maybe. Don't piss him off, Doug. Read the
Oh yeah,
guitar.
he's gonna fucking come here and smash a guitar over my fucking head.
I would shit my pants.
He's got nothing else better to fucking do.
I don't know if there's a guitar big enough.
Oh, he's feuding with Adam Page right now. So
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, Adam Page keeps kicking your ass. So if you're gonna get upset because I just revealed that your wife strokes you from behind, which really does not seem like a bad deal because your wife is kind of hot until she talks.
You're being a real slap nut right now.
Yeah, I know. But so like you have bigger fish to fry with Adam Page and worry about what comes out of this stupid ass's mouth.
I watched that Beetlejuice clip like 14 times. Yeah.
I mean, and Beetlejuice.
You're not.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I think my airtime's over.
Yeah, slap nuts. And he just fucking wallops him with the guitar. You've seen that, right, Eric?
yep.
So good.
My number 9.
Yeah. What's your number 9, bub?
My number 9 is Chris Benoit. As a wrestler, I'm talking about the wrestler. He was fantastic in the ring, and I think he had some good feuds with Jericho and I think Angle with their title.
Yeah,
right?
They worked the WrestleMania match against each other.
And that ladder match, I think, at Rumble.
Yep. Which that chair shot could be blamed for a lot of his problems. Where he does the dive through the ropes and Jericho just wallops him in the face with the chair.
That was a big one.
And Jerry Lawler had that clip played like 10 times during the fucking match.
That was a big one. That was crazy.
I thought he was a good IC champion. I thought he had some good title feuds.
Hell yeah. So. That Royal Rumble 2001 ladder match is one of the best ladder matches of all time.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, you know, we talk about Benoit and him going on somebody's list. When we do the WCW countdown, he is more than likely going to end up on that countdown because he got quite a few votes. Yeah. Now, not number 1 votes, but
I would imagine. He's the tits. All right. My turn?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Number 9, I have Captain Charisma himself, Christian.
He's on my list, too.
Jesus Christ, can we never think for ourselves?
He was a damn good Intercontinental champion. Dog. He was a damn good Intercontinental champion. He was the fucking man.
Funny enough, I think he's next on my list.
Well, there you go. I think that he was perfect especially when you had Tomko around and shit and Trish and stuff. He just had the whole package with the Intercontinental title. And even though he wouldn't always hold it for like long periods of time, I do think that his reign, he was a perfect heel champion, especially in that ruthless aggression area. He was like the top heel on Raw.
Yeah.
If he didn't have Triple H and Evolution and shit. He was a guy, he really worked, and he always, like, his Intercontinental title matches with fucking Booker, with Ed, or not Edge, did he find that?
Yeah, no, him and Edge, he beat Edge for an Intercontinental title.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah.
Didn't he have one with Chris Jericho, too, in feud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one on Raw in 2003, 2004, I really enjoyed his shit back then. And I thought he was really starting to become something. And I felt like they wasted him. I didn't blame him for going to TNA because I thought he was really a superstar that was developing and they wouldn't really let him. So
yeah, I'll save my input for when we go around because he is my next one.
All right, Doug. Who do you have at number 8?
That's a good question. I guess I'll look and find out.
I remember my list.
Me. My number 8 is Tito Santana. Now, this is going back before any of us were even stains on a bedspread. And so his first reign was actually, I want to say he won it in January of 84 against the Magnificent Morocco. He loses it, I think, in July of 84 or October of 84 or whatever it was to Greg Valentine. And then him and Valentine have this blood feud for the title. He wins the title back in July of 85.
Yeah.
And then in the steel cage match, holds the title for about 7-8 months, loses it to Randy Savage. But he was a really good, he was probably the number 2 babyface at the time.
100%.
Because that's what the Intercontinental Champion, like the next champion was, if the next champion was a babyface. So he would be number 2 as far as like the babyface pecking order. And he was just like, I mean, he is a true babyface. I don't think he ever had a heel run.
No, probably not.
So career babyface right there.
Yep. Good one.
Thank you.
It was okay.
Yeah.
What were you about to do, you motherfucker?
Probably something we'd probably get kicked off YouTube for.
Oh God. All right.
My number 8.
Go ahead, Eric, please.
My number 8 is Christian.
Oh,
I love the guy. He's still doing
you do?
great things now, but
Yeah, he is.
I wouldn't call Mother Wayne a great thing.
Huh?
I wouldn't call Mother Wayne a great thing. I'd call
no,
her
no,
Sherry DeVille
not Mother
with the
Wayne,
makeup and the boobs.
but Christian has always been to me an underrated wrestler. If we ever did an underrated wrestler list, he would probably be in my top 10.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you'd nail Mother Wayne.
And he's one of those guys that actually had a better career outside WWE.
Yeah.
I think that's YouTube now telling me shut up.
He did have his TNA career was better, but he
Oh,
did have his Intercontinental title run. He was kind of perfect in that role.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was. I agree. All right. My turn. My number 8 is none other than The Rock.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Eric.
no, it's okay.
I went 3rd, so this wouldn't happen, by the way. But
And yet here we are.
and here we are.
I have him higher on my list, so I thought he was going to be higher on your list. I'm surprised.
Yeah. A lot of my favorite stuff of Rock is as the babyface in 2000 and in 2001. And I do enjoy the heel nation stuff in the Intercontinental run, and it was great shit. And it's when he started really becoming his own man. But it's not my favorite version of Rock. There are better Intercontinental reigns on this list than that. But the iconic shit of Stone Cold throwing the belt over the thing and his feud with Stone Cold over the thing and Stone Cold, like it was just such good storytelling. And the feud with Shamrock and Shamrock chasing and Shamrock tapping him out and then keep going and the referees fucking DQ him. Squirrel. And then it's just he had a great feud with Shamrock. He made Triple H when Triple H won the title off him.
Yeah.
And I thought it was always the best shit. I thought Rock had a hell of an Intercontinental title run. And it truly was that because they say it's the workhorse belt, but they also say it's the belt that you get and then it's supposed to propel you to the big time, to the world title after you do a run with that. In theory, it does not always work out like that. In the Rock's case, it worked out like that.
Yeah.
It worked out for Gunther.
Yeah. And what's funny about especially Rock and Shamrock is The Rock technically lost the Intercontinental title to Shamrock twice. Once at the Royal Rumble, but the Rock had snuck a pair. The hell? Eric pulled a disappearing act on us for a couple minutes.
I didn't do anything. It happened to me too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're the one that ended up disappearing. So of course it happened to you. So Rock at the Royal Rumble 98, Rock hits Shamrock with a foreign object and then puts a foreign object in Shamrock's tights. Shamrock recovers. Shamrock hits the belly to belly, pins Rock. Rock says he hit me with a foreign object. Check his tights. And then Shamrock gets disqualified. So he wins the title, then loses the title. WrestleMania, he beats Rock's ass for the title.
Yeah.
And then the submission, or he won't let go of the submission. So he lost the title to Shamrock twice. So they were really beating this fucking thing to death.
Yeah. It worked though.
It worked, but it's also just like, just give Shamrock his fucking moment. I understand that, like, you probably have more important things. Sit the fuck down. You probably have more important things like planned for The Rock, but like, quit fucking cock teasing Shamrock.
I liked it.
You like a good cock tease.
You're a cactus. All right, your turn, Doug. Number 7.
Number 7.
Jeff Hardy.
Oh, he blew. I'm just kidding. He is one of the better ones. That was a good pick by you.
Thank you. No, I'm not going to do it on air.
You get your ass beat. Do what? Give me a wet willy? Is that
Yeah.
what you were going to do?
I was thinking about
You'll
it.
get a wet willy. You'll get a wet shoe up your ass.
Anyway, yeah,
Do it off air. You'll get a shoe up your ass.
it's true. All right, Jeff Hardy, 6 times Intercontinental. May have even been more. I don't necessarily remember, but shows how much homework I do for this show. Especially if the subject wasn't my idea. But so 6 times Intercontinental Champion, has beaten the likes of Triple H and Johnny Nitro, fucking AJ Styles, Umaga, and has had really good reigns. And like, anytime he gets the defending Intercontinental title in a ladder match, know it's going to be a good. You know it's going to be a good match because he is one of the masters of the ladder match.
Yeah, he is. He is one of the masters of the ladder match. I mean, all of his feuds for the him and Umaga was fucking legendary.
Yeah,
that was a great feud for the Intercontinental. This is when Jeff was at his best. So
yeah, and this is when he was the most popular too.
He was selling merch up the bunghole.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, you're number 7.
One of my favorites of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's a good one.
I thought he was a pretty decent IC champion. His feud with The Rock was started the IC title feud started the legendary feud between the two.
It definitely did, and Dangle just tried to interview my beard.
I stroked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You're probably surprised he's not higher on my list.
Well, he didn't necessarily have a long run with the title.
Yeah, that's why.
But like, he was so over. He was one of those that didn't need the belt, but it helped him.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, it definitely helped him. And I mean, well, the moment that he won the belt was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He broke his neck, for God's sakes. Eric?
Yep. And then he gave it to The Rock.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
We're not putting that one up.
Damn. I tried.
Uh-oh.
All right.
I hope I didn't do anything.
It was not you this time.
Doug's gassing us out over here.
We're having way too much.
Hey, I did something nice for you at the end, Doug.
Huh?
You'll find out. I'll put it up later.
Oh, shit.
All right. Whose turn is it?
Yours.
My number 7?
Yes.
All right. All right. My number 7 is Cody Rhodes.
He was definitely a good one in that 2011, 2012 era.
Yeah, I thought he was the first one to kind of like revamp it.
Yeah.
Like kind of try to make it more prestigious and mean something again after years of kind of falling by the wayside.
Didn't he bring back one of the old ones?
Yeah, he brought back the '80s design, and I thought it was lovely.
Yeah, it was the. Did he bring back the white one or the yellow one? Because he brought back one of the ones that Warrior held.
I think it was the white one.
Okay.
Yeah, the white one.
Yeah, because I know they went to. Well, actually, I'll get into the story of Warrior's belt designs when I get to Warrior because he is on my list.
Right.
But yeah, I know Cody really wanted to have. Wanted to bring back the prestige because they went through like so many Intercontinental title designs.
True.
Especially with Warrior, like fucking, like I think white and then yellow and probably I think a couple of different colors.
Yeah. Okay. Doug, number 6, buddy. Now or never. What do you got?
Well, this kind of transitions. Ultimate Warrior.
Okay. Talk about the belt designs.
So when Honky Tonk Man had the belt, I think it was like the classic, like the black strap title.
Yeah.
Warrior wins it. He starts carrying around the white title with him, and then he this room just became more enclosed.
The Brick Boys.
Yeah. So then after he had beaten Rude for the title, the belt became yellow.
Yeah.
So like it was just kind of like, and those titles were cool because those titles they could sell those replica titles because that's what kids wanted.
Yeah.
They wanted, the different color belts. And him as Intercontinental Champion, when he beat Honky Tonk Man for that title at SummerSlam 88 in 28 seconds, and then went on to have the run that he had, then lose it to Rude. But then the following year at SummerSlam 89, had probably the best match he's ever had up to that point with Rude. And get the belt back and then go on this run that would culminate in him winning the WWF title. He was a really good champion.
He was.
And with the right guy, he could work. Now, I don't know why they felt like he could have good matches with Andre when Andre's limit to work every night was, 25 seconds.
Yeah.
Although, actually, no. The reason why they had him work with Andre is because they figured if Andre punched him in the face enough, Warrior would finally calm down.
Yeah.
Didn't really work.
All righty then. Eric, go ahead. Number 6. What do you got, Big Bubba Rogers?
The Viper, Randy Orton. He was the youngest IC champion at the time.
Yeah.
And then he joined Evolution. That put him to stardom because he joined Evolution, and rest is history. He was a good IC champion.
I like how Eric rephrases words because he couldn't figure out how to say elevated.
Thank you. No.
It's okay. I know what you were trying to say, so you're good.
Evolution.
Yeah, an elevated evolution, which you could not say.
Thank you, Doug.
Elevated evolution.
Fucking show off.
Elevated his career. That's a word.
What are you doing now? You're not pissed. Oh, you're breaking the computer. Okay.
I'm not breaking the computer. I'm just hitting the wrong button.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now you're getting mad on and off again. Randy's a great pick. More on him later.
Oh, yeah, because somebody else has him on his list.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Doesn't get appreciated that much. by the
Yeah,
current
I guess-
champion.
He didn't get appreciated much back then because he was too busy pooping in handbags.
He was such a good bad guy. More on him later for me.
Yeah.
You're just like, fuck it, you're not screwing up my pick.
One day we'll do
My list,
Randy Orton top 10 matches and moments. Might even have to be 20. Top 20.
All right, my number 6. You ready?
Yeah.
I have the Shaman of Sexy, not me. John Morrison.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Otis.
Was he Intercontinental Champion?
Johnny
No.
Nitro. John
Then it
Morrison.
doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, Shaman is sexy. All you think of is Otis.
Well, I look like Otis a little
He
bit.
has so many nicknames. Johnny Nitro.
I thought you were going to say Otis has more
Johnny Legend.
than one nickname.
Johnny Mundo, Johnny Elite. And at the Palace of Wisdom, Doug, it's always a fun time. I thought he's one of the better babyface Intercontinental champions when he had it in his third reign.
Underrated too.
He was good as Johnny Nitro. His matches with Jeff Hardy for the IC belt was good.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy. And then, when he won the title, and then like the matches he had with Ziggler when he did the babyface run.
So good.
Even the match with Drew McIntyre, where McIntyre beat him for the title.
Yeah.
Like, that was really good because it helped elevate McIntyre.
Yeah.
Until, McIntyre's wife at the time beat the shit out of him in a hotel room and Vince realized he was a complete pussy. Which did happen.
Well, there you go.
Even though this segment should be about Morrison, and Morrison right now, all he is Taya Valkyrie's bitch.
I think he's one of the best Intercontinental champions of all time, and I think you look like Dr. Evil. John Morrison is one of the. I thought the parkour shit and all that shit. He was the man. As the IC champion, he was the man. His match with Rey Mysterio on SmackDown was very good.
Yeah, where he won the title, right?
Yeah, I thought.
Don't get snarky with me.
Don't talk shit about John Morrison. He's a
Didn't
great
talk shit.
wrestler. You called him a bitch.
I said he was Taya Valkyrie's bitch, which is another word for a husband.
What's he doing now, Johnny?
Taya.
And jobs in AEW.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll see him on Collision losing to somebody any minute now. He's always there.
Yeah.
But he's he was the man. He's one of the Intercontinental champions that should have got a world title after, but never did.
Yes,
It's fucking bullshit. It's 'cause
definitely.
the creative at the time was Doggy Doggy Poo Poo. So
He should have just hugged Trish.
yeah, but Trish is. I mean,
everybody hugged Trish back in the day.
she didn't have to sabotage the guy's career. I know she didn't, but
She kind of takes credit. She kind of takes credit for it. She's like, he deserved it.
yeah, fuck him. But John Morrison was the shit, and I thought he was a great Intercontinental champion. All right, Doug, you have to have your number 5 right now.
Okay. Honky Tonk Man.
The longest
Oh,
reigning.
no.
Yeah. He's a honky tonk man.
He's a
honky tonk man. All right. Longest reigning Intercontinental champion at one time, 14 months. Beat Ricky Steamboat for the title because Ricky Steamboat's wife wanted him home for a couple months. So Honky Tonk can thank Bonnie Steamboat for the title reign.
Big Bon.
Yeah. Big bitch.
But wasn't he supposed to drop it to somebody else though?
Steamboat? Yeah, he was actually supposed to drop it to Butch Reed, but Butch Reed no-showed.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, why don't we give it to Jake? And then Jake was nowhere to be found.
So like, Honky, get your ass over here.
Well, that's actually what happened. Honky just happened to be walking down the hall to see what to read the board to see what he was doing that night. And Hulk's like, what about him?
Yeah.
And they're like, and Vince is like, okay, I gotta ignore that PSA.
Yeah. What the fuck just happened?
I ignored the PSA that you put up a couple seconds ago. That one.
I like how you capitalized the fart, but nothing else.
It was a good pick, though.
I capitalized the never.
There you go.
We're never gonna make it big time, bro.
Now, if we keep farting in rooms, Doug, we got to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
More ways than one. Yeah.
Now, shall I turn the light on?
Sure. Let there be light.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm blind now.
Whose turn is it now, Eric?
Yeah.
Number
Eric, what's your
5.
number 5?
Number 5 is The Rock. Daniel pretty much said all I was going to say. I said it earlier with Stone Cold. Good feud with him. Ken Shamrock. I thought he was a pretty decent IC champion. It elevated him to stardom too. Just like Randy.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Rock is the man.
Wow, I actually said the word right.
Yeah, you did good. And Doug wasn't paying attention.
I'll watch it back later. Yeah, he had a really good run, and it helped elevate him. Helped elevate Triple H too, because of the matches they had with one another.
Oh, that ladder match was the best.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite matches of all time.
And what's that match?
It's the ladder match at SummerSlam 98.
yeah.
98.
All right. My number 5?
Yeah.
Gunther. The best modern day Intercontinental champion of all time.
He's on my list too.
The ring general. I think he's fucking awesome. He's got a big forehead and he chops those titties pretty hard. And he's the man. He's a badass dude. No one thought he would lose to Sammy, but it made sense. He's a world champion now. It did elevate him, like you said earlier, Eric. And we'll see where he goes from now with this world title reign. But Gunther is the fucking man. He's legit. He's badass.
Yep.
He's real deal. And he had a lot of good wins as the IC champion. I'm all for Gunther. So
He's actually my next one, so I'll save my
Save
take
it.
for when we go back.
Save it. All right, number 4, Doug.
I'll give you $100 to put that one thing up during your show on Sunday. See how much your co-host likes it. Never.
We're actually going through this real fast.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah, we'll see, Doug.
As much as I'm bullshitting. All right, Razor Ramon.
Oh, fuck.
Get over it.
I know.
So, first title reign started because they had to take the title off Shawn Michaels because they thought he did steroids, even though they looked at his body and nothing about him says steroids. They all say Soma. Wins the title from Rick Martel, has that ladder match with Shawn at WrestleMania 10, which was really good. But then, of course, a month later, they just said, oh, no, we're going to give the title to Diesel. And it's just like, really? Like, you give him this big moment and you take it away from him 4 weeks later just because you like the big bitch that's standing behind Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
Who, by the way, it could do two things. He could punch and he could power bomb. Whoop-de-doo.
He was cool.
He was all right. But yeah, so then he then gets another reign with the Intercontinental title when he beat Diesel at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
His final reign, he ended up winning the title, I think, like 4 times because he had a short 1-day reign with the title. Him and Jeff Jarrett traded it back and forth once or twice. And then when he beat Dean Douglas for the title, the last time he got to hold it, held it for about 3 months. So he was a good representative of that title for the new generation. Like, if they couldn't get the world title on him, at least they got the Intercontinental on him because he was a good representative for that.
Yeah. All right. Eric, what's your number 4, Big Dow?
My number 4, Gunther. The guy is fantastic. Had probably the greatest IC title reigns in history. Longest.
It technically is the longest, right? Because it was like 60. It was almost what? It was almost 2 years, wasn't it?
So he beat he beat
Almost,
Honky.
almost.
Yeah,
Almost as long as Reigns.
Honky, but
Him
it
and
was like
Reigns almost started at the same time.
644 days.
Yep.
You sure Gunther's never had a match with Honky Tonk Man?
They thought about bringing him back for one, but I think Honky wanted to go over.
Are you serious?
There was, I believe, talk at one point of Honky actually preventing Gunther from breaking the record. Not winning the title, but interfering to where he couldn't break the record.
Well, I'm glad that got passed over.
Yeah. I think Vince was still in charge at that point. That's why.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right. My number 4. You ready, Doug?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm not looking at your phone.
Well, you never know with you. Macho Man, Randy Savage.
I knew I forgot one.
Macho.
You forgot Macho?
Man.
Yeah, you idiot.
I know.
It's okay.
The best theme song ever. I love that theme song.
The theme song was great, and him and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat had one of the best matches at WrestleMania 3 for this title. And him cheating to win and using Elizabeth and all that, I thought it worked. I thought he was a good heel champion. And I thought it also laid the foundation for the Macho King stuff later on.
Yeah, it definitely did. Like the matches he had, there was a match he had with Jake Roberts on an early Saturday night's main event. And it was funny because Jake wasn't necessarily a babyface yet, but they wanted him to do the match. And Jake talks about how Dick Ebersol went up to Jake and said, if you don't give us a good match on this, because this is a big spot for you.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good match with Randy, you're fired. And Dick Ebersol had no power within the fucking company. So Jake Roberts is like, all right, I guess I'll have a good match with him.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
It was mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Macho's the man.
Yeah.
I thought he was.
Oh, he definitely is.
And he's one of the best IC champions. All right, number 3.
Top 3.
Top 3, baby. Hey.
Ken Shamrock.
It's a good pick.
Yeah. He was one of my favorite guys in the Attitude Era. I liked his, when he won the title, I was ecstatic because he won the one-night tournament. He beat Steve Blackman, who Blackman wasn't even actually cleared from his knee injury yet.
Yes.
But he beat Blackman. He beat Val Venus. He beat X-Pac after X-Pac already had the shit beat out of him earlier in the night.
Yeah.
Went on to have a decent run. Lost to the guy who was banging his sister in Val Venus. Even though, all right, so I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but the girl that was brought in as Ken Shamrock's sister was actually Shamrock's, or would become later on, because Shamrock might have still been married at the time.
Yeah.
But later on, Ryan Shamrock would actually become Ken Shamrock's real life girlfriend.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So
he fucked his sister.
pretty much. So
That's
he
insane.
was. They did Pornhub before Pornhub did Pornhub.
Well, there you go.
That's
yeah.
the next banner.
We don't have the time.
Probably don't even have the space either.
No, we got the space.
I hope that's not as short.
All right.
I so desperately want it to be.
If it was, oh my god, it's probably going to be.
Doesn't mean we gotta put it out there.
Yes,
No, we don't.
Yes, it does. Damn it! I have a vote here.
No, you don't. It's 2-1. Yeah, you have a vote, but it's the losing majority. It's the minority vote.
Damn, I said I
Okay, moving on to my number 3.
Fine, it always has to be about you.
Sorry, I didn't know. Were you done?
No, we're done. That was actually a really good transition by you, but Doug had to fuck it up.
Yeah.
It's the best transition
My number
ever.
3 is Razor
Oh, yeah.
Ramon.
Very good.
Scott Hall, aka Scott Hall. May rest in peace.
R.I.P.
One of the most underrated guys in the WWE. Great IC champion, great matches with Shawn Michaels. And I forget his other feuds, but his ladder matches with Shawn Michaels were legendary. It elevated the ladder match to what we know it today.
Yeah. I agree. All right, my number 3. I have, to me, the one of the best. If not, let me see if there's 2 heels after this and not 2 babyface. Okay, to me, the best babyface Intercontinental Champion of all time, Shelton Benjamin.
That's a good pick.
I thought he had a hell of a run. Ruthless Aggression era. Shelton Benjamin is like my favorite shit. I loved watching him. I was a huge fan. And when he beat Triple H, I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to be something. And then he goes on the run with the IC title. He beats Ric Flair for one of his title runs. That's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Doug.
Oh, it's
And
a huge deal.
It's a huge deal. And and his reigns were always pretty good. So, and he had some good title defenses.
Yeah, he held his first run, like the babyface run, was for 8 months, right?
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah, not at all. When you look at the guys he beat, Christian, Jericho, Maven. Well, anyway,
I like Maven.
Yeah.
He's got a great YouTube.
I forgot about memes.
Get a fantastic YouTube. Fat guy now.
He's a little chubby.
Yeah, he's a bald fat guy. So
yeah, I'm sitting.
Oh,
next
yeah,
to
okay.
him.
I mean, I'm not completely. Actually, pretty much, I am completely bald. I could, although I could shave off my beard right now and cover up the bald spot.
Yeah, or your butt.
Yeah, my butt needs to be covered. Especially when I wear assless chaps. Oh, but so Shelton Benjamin here. Well, I mean, he's not here, but
Shelton Benjamin to me is the greatest babyface IC champion of all time, and yeah, I love watching his matches. I thought he was awesome. All right, Doug, number 2 now.
Magnificent Morocco.
Okay, Eric, number 2. No,
My number 2 is
no. I think Don Morocco is most known for dropping, or not dropping, but the whole Jimmy the
The feud with Snuka that culminated in the cage.
Yeah. So and he beat Pedro Morales for it, which is nothing to scoff at.
I mean, well, he's had 2 runs with the title.
2 of them.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
More than 1.
Yes.
Not 3.
No.
2.
Yes.
I mean, the more famous one that he's known for is when he beat Pedro for the title and went on the long run. Although I think the first run was about a year and a half as well.
Okay.
But he was a good heel champion, carried himself very well, did have really good matches, and yeah, what his title run is mainly known for is the match with Snuka.
All right. Is this number 2?
yes.
This would be your number 2, yeah.
My number 2 is Chris Jericho. 9-time IC
Chris
champ.
Jericho, not just Chris Jericho, but Chris Jericho.
He said it in a very
Yeah,
bougie way.
just Chris Jericho.
There you go.
You know him as so many names I can't even think of right now, but
Including
Yeah.
one of them being Chris Jericho.
9-time champion. Do I have that correct?
You are correct.
Most reigns in history.
Yes. His legendary matches with Benoit.
Oh, hi.
Is it 9?
Huh?
Is it 9?
No. It's I took my fat face out of the frame for a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, his legendary matches with Jericho. I mean, not Jericho. His legendary matches with Benoit.
Eric, remember, he played with himself. He didn't wrestle himself. He usually plays with himself.
Who? Us?
Jericho.
Okay, we don't need to go there. This is a live show.
I think we need to go
But-
there.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
legendary match.
if I can insult Jeff Jarrett on this show, I could definitely insult Chris Jericho, because Jericho I could probably beat in a fight because he's fat too.
Jeff Jarrett's doing pretty good.
Good point, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh,
as I was saying, his legendary matches with Benoit, with Christian, with I think Edge. I don't know if it was for the IC title, but was any of his title reign against Kurt?
Yeah, he dropped he dropped the title the first time to Kurt Angle.
Yeah, so many legendary matches, even with I think Randy. But yeah.
All right.
And he's still going today, which he should be retiring, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring up any of his run today because nobody cares about the learning tree.
This was your
Oh,
number
don't
one?
get me started, please.
Is this number one? Or two?
Two,
Okay.
I think.
You ready for my number two?
Yeah.
I felt your breath go through my ear into my brain, and I don't like it. All right. I hope it isn't. Number two, we have. But it is. Number two, I have one of my favorite heel champions. I think probably, I said Gunther was the best modern day, but before that, it'd have to be The Miz. I think The Miz has had one of the best IC title reigns in history. And I think he's always been your go-to heel champion. And he also gets guys over. The matches with Dolph, that was the only good thing at SmackDown in 2016, 17, is the matches with him and Dolph. Those were so fucking good. Yeah, I think he's actually made the Intercontinental title pretty prestigious over the years.
Oh yeah, I mean when he had that career resurgence in 2016, because most of 2015 was spent just him being an idiot.
Yeah,
which he was good at. But 2016, he had that career resurgence with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, didn't he hold the title or like the majority of the year after WrestleMania? I mean, there was the 3 week drop to Dolph. But I think after that wasn't like it. Didn't he hold the title for like 7 or 8 months that year?
Yeah.
So trying to interview my beard again. But it was he was so good, especially getting heat, especially since he had his wonderful wife, air quotes, with him. The French bulldog known as Maurice.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miz is one of the greatest IC champions of all time. Drum roll for number one pick. Doug, who's your number one?
Bret Hart.
Ooh, the excellence of execution.
Yeah, that guy.
The best there ever is, best there ever was, and the best there ever will be.
According to him, yeah.
The guy that gave sunglasses to little kids.
Yeah, him.
Okay.
So when he got the title after SummerSlam and kind of embarked on that run where he was giving title shots to everybody. And he would have really good matches with the likes of IRS and Ted DiBiase, Berserker, believe it or not. That Tuesday in Texas match that he had with Skinner that was 15 minutes and should not have been that long, but
it was a good match though.
Yeah. Well, because of Bret. But then like when he lost the title, but then won it back from Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 8 and would go on and have more good matches because that's what he was known for. And the fact that he was able to carry that entire SummerSlam match, what he was known for. And the fact that
I went to watch it for a second.
there was a serious fucking echo.
Did you get scared?
A little bit. It says that you're watching.
Yeah, we gotta be out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, just
when he had the match with Davey Boy at SummerSlam '92, where he dropped the title to Davey, but he had to carry that entire match was because Davey was on crack the entire time or whatever he was on.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how professional he was, and his matches, no matter who they were against, his matches were actually very good.
I agree.
That's good to hear.
Eric, drum roll. Eric,
My
your
number one shouldn't be any surprise. Doug probably already knows where I'm going with this. Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah, him.
Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. There you go.
I mean, it's a favorites list, so it's not all time. So he wouldn't be number one on my all time.
Right.
So,
But I mean, he had really good matches as Intercontinental Champion, and he's also the only Intercontinental Champion that has had, 5. Or he had 3 reigns with the title.
Yeah.
And he only technically ever dropped the title once.
One time.
He dropped it once to Marty Jannetty. The second time he lost the title, he got stripped of it because they thought he was on steroids. And then the third time he dropped the Intercontinental title, he had 9 bikers beat the shit out of him in Syracuse, so he didn't have to do the job for Shane Douglas.
oh, we have a comment.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Elite Doc said Razor Ramon.
Yeah, we talked about him already.
Yeah,
I mean, he was
one of the greatest.
Yeah, he was number 4, I think, on my list. I think 3 on Eric's list.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, he's in all of our lists.
Razor's the 10th. We're about to finish up here. My number 1. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Drum roll. The greatest Intercontinental Champion in the history of time is Ezekiel Jackson. When the core got together, yes, but wouldn't he have technically beat Michaels for the title?
No. Because Shawn was not recognized as the Intercontinental Champion at the time. I mean, he had an Intercontinental title, but technically the champion was Razor.
Yeah. So there you go. Ezekiel Jackson, when the core got together, you knew that it was made to have a breakout star. When you started the core after the Nexus,
you're really gonna ride this out.
What am I? I'm not riding nothing.
Ezekiel Jackson is your number 1.
Yes, he had a hell of a reign. Capital Punishment's one of my favorite papers.
Are you joking with us?
You're swearing at me now, Eric? What the fuck's going on here? Did you just call me a fucking idiot?
I don't believe this is not your number 1, but if it is, okay.
I would check his phone, but he would break my hand, and my hand's already been through enough this week.
What the fuck's wrong with being an Ezekiel Jackson fan? Big Zeke.
He's not even a fan of himself.
Yes, he is. He's the last ever ECW champion. That means some shit, guys.
Yeah.
And I thought the IC title, when the core broke up and they turned on this poor fella, and then he rose up in America's pay-per-view, the issue is he sucked. I disagree, Sean. I thought he was the fucking man. I thought he was the man. The core was a great. Obviously, he's not my number 1. Fuck Ezekiel Jackson.
Yeah, we know that. We're just wondering how long you were going to keep up the kayfabe.
My number 1, my for real favorite of all time is Randy Orton. Eric stole him earlier because he's a fucking POS. But I thought
I've been saying that for years.
I thought the heel run in 2004 as a part of Evolution, I thought Triple H and the Reign of Terror was all right. I know a lot of people didn't like it. I liked Evolution, and I liked guys like RVD and Kane and all them, Booker and all them going after and on the chase. And Randy Orton is the IC champion. His feud with Mick Foley is one of my first rivalries I ever got into wrestling as a kid. And I remember being so invested, and I liked both guys. I thought Randy was like a good bad guy and like a douchebag, and Mick Foley was just like sad sack, like old guy that is kind of like time passed him by, but he's chasing one more thrill, and this young buck's a disrespectful fuck, and he's gonna tear him up. And that Backlash match, we watched it last week. It still holds up as like the best Extreme Rules match ever,
Yeah.
or hardcore, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I thought that Randy is the heel Intercontinental Champion. I thought that is what a heel Intercontinental Champion should be. And all the guys chasing him, it always worked for me. I thought you should have even kept that reign for another year instead of trying to push him into world title status. But yeah, he's the man. Take away the suck thing. I don't want us to think Randy Orton thinking, yeah, Randy Orton doesn't suck. Randy Orton's the fucking man.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Jackson, I'll give it to you. He might blow a bit. But all right. Yeah, that's my number one. Randy Orton, Randall Keith Orton.
Great choice.
Thank you, Eric.
I mean, it definitely, he's definitely up there because he held the title. I mean, he was one of the longer reigns in the Ruthless Aggression era, I believe.
Yeah. It lasted some months for sure.
Yeah. Lasted at least 7 months. I think Shelton has the record for that period in time, but
he did pretty good.
But he had the record because he was like the longest reigning champion in like 7 years. And then, you know, he held that record for a little bit till Shelton got the belt, and then Shelton just like, fuck you, it's mine now.
Was the Miz on this list? He carried that title for a while, and I feel like he made it relevant after a long time of mediocrity. Yes, that was my number 2, Sean. Or Elite Deck. I completely agree. Miz is the man, and I think the reason the title's at the prestige it is now, yes, Gunther did a lot of that, but before that, it was because of the Miz. I think he's probably the best modern-day champion of all time.
Yeah.
Randy's technically Ruthless Aggression, so it's not the same era. All right, that was the list. You want to tell people what we're doing next week?
To be announced. Depends on.
Well, if Eric is on, then we're gonna do, because he wanted to do the 2005 WWE Homecoming.
Homecoming.
I said that. The 2005 WWE Homecoming, where WWE goes on to USA. If Eric cannot do the show, which I'm hoping that he'll let us know, you know, ahead of time.
I will. Always do.
Yeah. So yeah, tell your sister-in-law she's got to make up her mind whether or not she still wants to be sick.
Yeah.
We need to know by Monday. Yeah. It really works giving a woman a deadline. But so it, depending on what it is, it should be that Homecoming episode. If Eric can't do the show, then we'll probably do something else.
We might play Naked Leapfrog.
I'm down with that. Although I don't know, my belly might be too big for that camera. But in about 2 or 3 weeks, we will be doing that smirk.
When am I going to get to defend my debate title?
When we can find somebody else to debate against you.
We can do that soon.
Yeah.
I'll take him, man.
Maybe Sean will.
Do you, me, and him. You know, that's the same guy. You But when am I going to defend my debate title? Soon.
We'll get it done.
Well, soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll think of a topic for a Settle in the Ring. So we do need to do one soon.
Yeah.
Especially on YouTube. 100%.
Oh, definitely.
That would be fun.
And then, yeah, in about 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to do the top 50 WCW superstar wrestler or greatest WCW wrestlers of all time. I'm going to start compiling the polls. And one of the polls just ended about 10 minutes ago. The other one ends tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. That'll be in about 2. If Eric gets to do his choice next week, that'll be in 2 weeks. If he doesn't, then the countdown will be in 3 weeks.
All right. Make sure to check out Doug and Eric's show when Tunes combine tomorrow night at 7. They have their own channel.
By the way, this is actually the one you're supposed to be on.
Okay. So I'm going to be on it tomorrow. And everybody check that
I'll
out.
probably be on.
What is it, South Park and something?
It is Powerpuff Girls and Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So make sure to listen to that. And me and Bobby.
That was for you, Doug.
Me and Bobby are doing the Bro Down on Sunday. We have our YouTube channel. Check that out. Comedy podcast. A lot of fun. Don't stick it in my fucking throat, dude. But yeah, no, it's good. I'm gonna put it somewhere else. I wonder what kind of noises we'll get out of that.
Not good ones.
We'll see everybody next week. Wrestling Through the Years. We love, check out the Stabcast too. We have a bunch of fucking YouTube channels. Check them all out. If you see that bald head and this big body and that little
Yeah, we have like
handsome
5
bundle
channels
joint-
now.
All right, we're the shit. We're the fucking guys.
Now, which one of the channels is going to be the porno podcast?
Maybe this one.
Yeah.
Hell, we might fuck next week. We could do anything. Like and subscribe.
Well, technically, we can't do anything because YouTube does have strict guidelines.
That's true. I don't know if we'll get monetized. We should do one like TV shows, like House, The Wire, Sopranos type of shows. I wouldn't be mad at that. Like a TV review type deal, or
Either review or he might be thinking debate again.
oh yeah, like which one's better?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
You know, like we were doing the like when we were doing the sitcom debates, which that's actually the title that he wanted to defend because he was actually supposed to defend it, got sick. I ended up taking his place. I lost, and we haven't done it since.
Well, at least you held up the mantle good, Doug. You didn't fuck that one up.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see everybody next week. Wrestling through the years. We'll see everybody next time.
Yeah.
Let's get the hell out of here, boys.
All right, cool.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And if you didn't like the episode, there you go. Have a good night.